Hello there, this is the Power Circuits, an informative program brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is an interface between the power generation companies, GENCOs, and the distribution companies, DISCOs, that directly supplies electricity to your homes. TCN does not generate power, nor does it supply it to your homes directly. TCN evacuates electricity from GENCOs through its vast transmission lines and substations and transmits the same to the distribution load centers nationwide to serve consumers. I am Amara Agogoisi, and in today's edition of the program, we have reports on key sector developments for your viewing delight. Power sector regulator assures improved power supply nationwide. TCN says the power grid has capacity to meet electricity demands. With 690 MVA bulk power capacity, Mando Transmission Substation is a key asset on the national power grid. Get to know more about this facility serving a vast area of Kaduna State. And in Katsina State, Kankia Town and environs get improved bulk power with upgraded 132-33 kilovolts transmission substation. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, the regulatory body for the power sector, has assured electricity consumers of improved electricity supply nationwide as gas supply to power plants improve. Here is the report.
Chairman of NEC, Sanusi Garba, while briefing pressmen at the Commission's headquarters, said there were technical issues with power generation that resulted in the previous low power generation.
There has been a lot of concern or publications that, this is because it's the dry season and hydros are down and so on. Now, just for clarification, in October 2021, the hydros were doing about 1,350. They are down to about 1,100. But that's not enough to clearly explain why there's so much outages across the country. The reality is normally at this time of the year when the hydros are down and generation from the 3 hydro plants is down, the gas plants, which currently contribute about 80% of the generation capacity, they ramp up to cover the shortfall in generation from the hydros, because obviously all the hydro plants do water management and so on.
He also attributed some of the hitches in power generation to acts of pipeline vandalism.
Unfortunately, at the time of the year when the gas plants are supposed to increase generation, we have had a number of multiple events that contributed to their lack of capacity to deliver on the shortfall in generation capacity. Starting by the Opai plant owned by AGIP and NNPC, there was act of vandalism on the pipeline that obviously disrupted generation in those plants.
Garba, however, assured that efforts are ongoing to expedite repairs and push gas to some power plants, especially the ones built by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC, of Nigeria.
But I want to say that on a positive note, all hands are on deck to remedy the situation. Gas supply has been restored to the Opai plant, and because there is also another plant that has just been completed on the same site, Opai 2, we recently had a meeting to discuss how that can also be brought on board to cover the shortfall in generation.
Let's take a break. More reports shortly.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
The acting managing director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, says there are robust strategies to improve bulk power supply to Nigerians and to ensure a sustainable grid stability. Let's have this report.
Speaking on Good Morning Nigeria, a program of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, the TCN head said the recent power drop was caused by technical issues on the power grid that include the maintenance of some power plants, inadequate gas supply, and gas pipeline vandalism in the Niger Delta region. He, however, said the situation has been addressed.
So we're assuring Nigeria that we're on top of the situations and things are getting better by now.
Further explaining, Engineer Abdulaziz said Nigeria has 13,000 megawatts installed capacity, noting that more capacity is being built to improve power supply.
We have installed capacity of around 13,000 megawatts. So if all these units will work and there are no concern of gas, no concern of water on the hydro, we will be able to generate 13,000, not even 7,000 you are talking about. So it's just because of some factors, that's why we are not getting the required megawatts this country needs.
The Executive Director, Independent System Operations of TCN, spoke on the role of TCN in managing the national electric power grid. As he said, every segment of the power sector value chain is important and must work in synergy. Engineer Lawal noted that the system collapses have dropped since 2017 due to more investment on power sector infrastructure.
In 2017, we had collapse incidents, numbering 15. The following year, it dropped to 12. Subsequently, we had 9, 4, and only last year we recorded only 2 incidents of system collapse. As a matter of fact, we have always strived to ensure we don't record any major disturbance. But it does happen that on account of the existing grid configuration, we'll have to, contend with this until we're able to, turn things around. And I must observe also that the government has been trying so hard to ensure that the requisite infrastructure that will foster development and growth altogether are being worked out. So you will observe from the figures I gave that with every passing year there has been a sustained improvement in grid stability.
On his part, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, NBET, Dr. Nnemeka Iwelukwa, responded to the role of the agency in the power sector.
The NBET role in the power sector is an intermediary, a temporary intermediary that functions between the distribution and generation segments of the value chain. Let it also be known that the federal government has shown absolute commitment to ensuring the survival of the power sector. And specifically as it pertains to NBET, that means ensuring that even as critical reforms are going on, that payments continue to be made to the generation segment to ensure that there's continuity. Till date, NBET has paid close to 19% of the total invoices of generation companies issued from 2015 till date. And that shows solid commitment, particularly at a time when downstream reforms at the distribution segment of the value chain are still taking place. And so currently, what you find is that the federal government is holistically addressing the power sector challenges on 2 fronts. One, the liquidity challenges of the market, which is where NBET plays in, making sure that the core issues driving the funding challenge of the market are being addressed. But secondly, also reforms aimed at sorting out the infrastructural challenges of the power sector. So the narrative regarding NBET role is that NBET really is the vehicle through which the federal government is channeling serious funding to that is meant to support the upstream segment of the value chain, that is generation companies, and that the current situation we have at the moment is not really something that you can say it's a generation problem. It's a holistic problem. It's a value chain problem.
In Kaduna Metropolis, the 330, 132, 33 kilovolts Mando transmission substation is a facility to be reckoned with a total capacity of 690 MVA, which is equivalent to over 500 megawatts of bulk power transmission. The facility services a wide array of 132, 33 kilovolts substations in Kaduna State. Officials of TCN at the facility speak more about the technical prowess of the substation.
The 330, 132, 33 kilovolts Mando transmission substation houses the Kaduna Regional Headquarters as well as the Kaduna sub-region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. Speaking on the capacity of this bulk power transmission facility, the Regional Operations Coordinator and Senior Manager System Operations of TCN, Engineer Jia Mohammed, said at least 552 megawatts of electricity can be transmitted to distribution load centers in Kaduna from the substation.
The total capacity of this station is 690 MVA. We have 4 by 150 MVA and 190 MVA, which is equivalent to 690 MVA, that can evacuate 552 megawatts to our consumers.
Engineer Mohammed further spoke about the transformation in the region after TCN recently installed 2 units of 150 MVA power transformers.
This is 150 MVA transformer, which feeds part of Kaduna North. This other one too is 150 MVA transformer T4, which also feeds part of Kaduna North. Formerly, there were 60 MVA. So the management deemed it fit that let's upgrade so that it will meet the customer satisfaction equivalent to the load increase in the state. That is why this was upgraded to 150 MVA and the other one too to 150 MVA. Actually, there's improvement. There's improvement because this one now can load up to 100 megawatt, 120 megawatt. That is the maximum load it can carry. This other two can carry 120 megawatt, equivalent to 240 megawatt, as against 60 MVA that can only carry 48 megawatt. This other one 48 megawatt, making 96 megawatt. But these two transformers that you can see can carry 240 megawatt to the consumers.
There is also a high-capacity reactor at the Mando Mega Transmission Substation.
This is a 75 MX reactor. That the work of it is to suppress the voltage. If the system voltage is very high, we bring in the reactor to suppress the voltage, so as to have a quality voltage to the consumers. But if the system voltage is getting lower, we remove it, then the voltage will shoot up, so as to have a quality voltage for the consumers.
The TCN management has also put up another 90 MVA power transformer at the substation to complement the existing capacity by creating redundancy to ensure seamless operations during the maintenance of the substation.
This is 90 MVA transformer. As you rightly know, we operate at N101 redundancy. This transformer is on soak. And what I mean by on soak is not loaded. It's not loaded to the consumer. This transformer can only come in if we can carry out maintenance or any of one of our transformer here. We cannot transport the load so that we don't keep the other people in darkness. Since we have anyone who's not redundancy, we have a continuity. We now load the transformer and feed the other consumer. Pending after the completion of job, we transport the load back from the 90 MVA to 150 transformer for the continuity of supply to the consumers.
In the control room is Engineer Abdurrahman Samaila, a senior manager operations of TCN at the Mando substation.
This substation is about 40 years old. This station covers Kaduna area, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Plateau State, Gombe, Borno, Yobe, Taraba, and parts of Bauchi.
According to the substation operator, there is consistent adherence to routine maintenance schedule for the substation.
We do routine maintenance on most of our equipment at least once in a year. Each equipment is isolated and maintained on routine basis at least once every year.
Engineer Samaila then explained the process of power transmission, which is a round-the-clock activity for the substation.
This is a picture of what is obtained in the switch yard. This depicts to us the lines supply is taken to the station, and also the lines through which we supply outstations, and also the transformers in the station. Like here, this is the lines supplying the station. These are the lines. We have two lines. This Shiroro line 1, this Shiroro line 2. These two lines supply the station from Shiroro GS. We also have two outgoing lines, major lines. That's Kano line. This is it. Supplies Kano, and of course, like I said earlier, up to the GR problem. We also have another line there that is just one line, which supplies just only. So we have two incoming lines in the station. We also have two major outgoing lines out of the station. We also have transformers in the station, which we take supply given to us, artificially what is level, and then it's transformed from that 330 step down to 132 kV level. We have, for example, this transformer. This transformer, T1E, we call it transformer T1E. 750 MVA transformer, and it takes supply at 330, like I said. Step down to 132, and then to 33, and then the supply gets to town. Parts of Kaduna not supplied by this transformer.
And from Kaduna State, you're on a ride to Katsina State, where the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, showcases the latest touch on the 132-33 kilovolts Kankia transmission substation. The substation is under the new Kano region, which was created recently to become the 10th operational region of TCN.
The 132-33 kilovolts Kankia transmission substation in Katsina State has two units of 30 MVA power transformer delivering bulk power to distribution load centers around Kankia town and its environs. The Assistant General Manager Transmission, Engineer Mohammed Aminu Kwali, spoke about the latest improvements at the substation switchyard.
That's the project we did last time. This NTA switchyard. These are the projects, the new projects executed by our workers. I think I will send the pictures for you. You have the pictures there. These are isolated, which I say we have installed the city, the acre, which is isolated. This is the ones we executed last time. And therefore it helps in consumer data transmission. So the consumer if there is problem, now we can directly concentrate here. Not from home. We used to open the line from Kano before, but now it's from here. It's an achievement. This is it.
Also at the substation, Engineer Abubakar Mani, an Officer 1 of the System Operations Arm of TCN, was at the helm of affairs when the power circuit team visited the facility.
We have 4 feeders here. They are namely as follows. We have Ambata feeder, we have Ampri Global feeder, we have Musa and Duzama.
Engineer Mani said there was a total renovation of the control room as well as new projects in the switchyard.
Renovation of this control room has been done, I think, in less than a year. And you can see around the switchyard, there are a lot of these things that have been done.
He further spoke about the transmission expansion plan for the power substation.
They are going to bring 60 MVA power transformer here. So if that's the case, you know that there is a plan to reboost the transmission capacity of the station.
And for maintenance exercises, Engineer Mani said the schedules are being complied with at the substation.
There are annual maintenance that is being done annually. And if there is any other case, we'll file a trouble report and submit it to the work center, and they respond to our needs.
Again, here are the stories we brought to you. Power sector regulator assures improved power supply nationwide. TCN says the power grid has capacity to meet electricity demands. Mando Transmission Substation in Kaduna State with 690 MVA bulk power capacity remains a key asset on the national power grid. And in Katsina State, we told you that Kankia Town and environs have had their bulk power improved following an upgrade of the 132-33 kilovolts Kankia transmission substation. Keep it up with TCN as you watch our episodes on the TCN YouTube channel. Also visit these platforms to learn more about TCN and its mandate of delivering improved bulk electricity nationwide. Ensure you protect yourself against the COVID-19 pandemic by getting vaccinated and following the prevention protocols. I am Amara Agugoesi. Hope to see you again.